Messiah is the reason we exist. He's the bond between God, the Father, and the creation. He's the link, he's the bridge between God and us. Okay, open up to Genesis 37. Now, I just came back. This is for those who are just listening to the message from Israel last night. And for the first time when I was there, I took a journey before the tour that I led into the land of Samaria, because that's going to be part of the mystery tour that we're doing in the autumn. And that is where most tours don't go. And we went on the road of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And to Bethel, where Jacob laid down and saw the ladder from heaven on earth, the actual place, to Shiloh, where Samuel heard the voice of God, and where the tabernacle was, the exact spot where it was for centuries. Also to a mountain called Elon Moreh, the mountain where Abraham set up an altar, the valley where Joshua led the children of Israel there, to Mount Gerizim and Mount Ebal, where they spoke the blessings and the curses. If you remember from the covenant, the two mountains where they actually discovered just not too long ago, I mean relatively, they discovered the altar that actually Joshua built, that is on that mountain to this day. And it's, again, this is in the Samaria, so most people don't go there. And I actually, the guide I had for the day had a drone and had goggles on the drone, and he had the drone fly over the mountain so I could see the altar of Joshua. Putting this on there, I'll show you a little bit. But and the mountains where the Samaritans still exist. There's about 700 Samaritans left who worship on Mount Gerizim, and actually they have a place where they actually on Passover sacrificed lambs. I took a picture of it, and looking over the valley of Shechem, where the patriarchs lived, where Joshua gathered Israel together and set up a pillar that is believed to still be there, where Messiah met the Samaritan woman at the well, where also the tomb of the man who we are going to be looking at today is there, the tomb of Joseph. He went to Shechem to find his brothers, and there is the tomb of Joseph. So because of that, that's the guide who took me through the Samaria. The guy, you recognize the suspicious looking one on the left. Well, that's the guide named Aaron, and he took me to Samaria. And back is Samaria. Now show the other one. Now, we were overlooking it. That, if you look, we're kind of like on a mountain. It's sloping down. I'm on Mount Gerizim. That is the mountain of blessing, where Moses told them to speak the blessings and the curses. That's also where the Samaritans worship. But the other mountain there, that's Mount Ebal, the other one where they were. On the other side of it is the altar of Joshua. But right in the middle of that, you see this city there, that is Shechem. And that is where the patriarchs dwell, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. That's also, you might see a little kind of empty area in the middle of the buildings. That's where there's an ancient building and the pillar of Joshua. Also in that valley, it's there, you won't be able to distinguish it now, is where the well of the woman at the well, Jacob's well, and also there is the tomb of Joseph. That is also where some of the book that we're reading about Joseph took place in that valley. So much. But now this is not where most people go because it's Samaria, but it's amazing. So just kind of leading into what we're going to do today, because that's where some of this took place that we're going to see. All right. Now, let's get to where we left off. But also to set this up, this is going to be, as the other ones have been of this series, it's going to be deep, so focus, because I'm giving you meat and giving you very deep things here that are all in what is revealed about Joseph. We know the story of Joseph. Joseph was the son of Jacob, and he was the favored son, or the especially loved son, and he was favored by his fathers. The other sons were jealous. They hated him. He went down to see them, went to Shechem, then went to find them, and they decided to kill him. They throw him into a pit, but then they decide maybe we won't kill him, but we will tell our father that he's dead. We will put blood on his coat of many colors, and we will give it to the father, and then we will sell him into slavery. Well, actually, there are Midianites passing by. They sell him into slavery to go down to Egypt as a slave. They are finished with Joseph, they think. Now, the message this night is called the Dungeon Master. When I was growing up, there was a game that was popular called Dungeons and Dragons. Some people remember that, where they had dungeons and masters, and a lot of darkness associated with that game. But this is going to be filled with light. This is a different kind of thing. The story of Joseph is an amazing thing. Not only could it happened, and it's an amazing story, but also that it is a foreshadow of Messiah. And even the rabbis spoke of Messiah. They called him Mashiach ben Yosef, Messiah, son of Joseph. And that is that because they saw the link between Messiah and the Joseph of the story there, that it had to do with a suffering Messiah. So we're going to open that up. That's what we're going to look at, what is very, very deep, but all about Messiah. Now keep something in mind. Joseph is the reason why that family exists. Joseph, it's because Joseph's mother was who? Was Rachel. Jacob, his father, fell in love with Rachel, but he got tricked on the wedding day to marry the other sister, Leah. So you have Leah and you have Rachel. Then he works more and he finally marries Rachel. But from Leah come a lot of the other tribes, like Judah, like Levi, and like others. But from Rachel, only 2 sons come out of the 12 sons. One of them is Joseph. Later on, Benjamin, the last born. But Joseph is really representing the reason why the whole family's together. He's the bond because he represents the bond between Jacob and Rachel. So he's like the reason, he's representing the reason why the entire family exists. Well, how is that a symbol or shadow of Messiah? Messiah is the reason we exist. He's the bond between God, the Father, and the creation. He's the link. He's the bridge between God and us, even before he came to save us. That's why he was the one to save us, because he's the bridge. So he becomes the bridge for us to get back to God. But he is what is called in the Gospel of John, the Logos. Logos. Logos means the Word. In the beginning was the Word, the Logos, but it also means the reason, the cause. He is the reason. He's the bond between God and us from the beginning. And he's the reason. It says all things were created through him. We came into existence through him. And notice, Joseph is the dreamer. He has dreams. And he has dreams about what? His family bowing down to him. That's one of the reasons they hate him. But it wasn't his fault. It was a dream. And the dream was prophetic, because at the end of the story, they're literally going to be bowing down to him. But that is also a picture of Messiah. At one point, Joseph sees the sun and the moon and the stars bowing down. Well, Joseph is not God, but the Logos, Messiah, is. And so all things are centering around him. And so what happens in the story, the father, Jacob, sends the son, Joseph, to his brothers. So what is that? God the Father sends his beloved Son to us. And he goes there, and he goes to a place called Shechem. You just saw a picture of it. In Hebrew, the word Shechem is linked to the word burdens. Messiah goes to a land of burdens, and then he's thrown into a pit. Well, Joseph's thrown in a pit. So Messiah is rejected. Joseph is rejected by his brothers. He came, what does it say in John? In the beginning was the Word. The Word became flesh, and he came to his own, but his own did not receive him. He comes to his own brothers, which are the Jewish people, representing all of man, but the Jewish people, and the large part rejected him. He was rejected by man. He was rejected by Israel. And so just like Joseph is rejected, and so Joseph is thrown into a pit, Messiah goes down to the depths of a pit we cannot even imagine. This is Jonathan Cahn. Thanks for watching. The Josiah Manifesto and all my books you can get anywhere, Amazon, wherever books are sold. Shalom.